But first, the reason why Governor Polis decided to shut bars in our state down starting today.
About our fire danger today coming up.
Boy, what a beautiful view, though. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rebecca Hager.
We've had great sunrises. Hey, first day of July, by the way, kicking off a brand new month today, halfway through the year.
Thank you. Starting today, bars across the state are not allowed to open their doors to customers. Just 2 weeks ago, they were finally given the okay to reopen at reduced capacity. But Governor Polis says he talked to governors of Texas and Arizona, two states seeing surges in cases, and they told him they think the spikes there are because of private parties and people coming to bars. Bars that sell food are still allowed to stay open with restrictions.
2 minutes. If you need to get into any El Paso County government building, you're going to be required to have a mask on.
11 News reporter Melissa Henry is live at Centennial Hall. Melissa, what locations does this include?
11 News.
Hopefully this is an easy transition because so many people were already wearing masks. Thank you.
4 minutes past.
We are about 4 months away from the November election, and one of the biggest Senate races in the country is now set. Last night, John Hickenlooper won the Democrat primary.
And he is now going to go up against Senator Cory Gardner. 11 News reporter Kasha Carriage is in the studio with us. Kasha, what were the results like in this race?
This morning, I-25 is now back open after protesters blocked it near Bijou for about an hour and a half. Take a look at this mess. Obviously, no one can get through to get to the other side. Caused some traffic issues. We're working to find out this morning if anyone will be charged. Police say they did get license plate numbers. Protesters stopped their cars on the road and got out with signs. They said they're demanding change. Eventually, all the drivers who were stuck turned around and were able to leave. If you drive the Gap, you know traffic can be a big headache, but all the tie-ups may be paying off. Coming up on 11 News, how much closer crews are to being done with construction.
And
Right now, 3 Aurora police officers are on leave, and they are under a federal investigation for inappropriate photos at a memorial for Elijah McClain, who died after an arrest by Aurora PD last year. What you're seeing now is protest video over that death. The officers were allegedly reenacting the arrest, including a chokehold. The feds are also reviewing McClain's death to see if a civil rights investigation is warranted. The DOJ typically doesn't discuss these investigations, but said recent attention on the case warrants a disclosure. The Aurora interim police chief is defending the use of force at those protests you just saw from over the weekend. The city council held a special meeting after video showed the use of pepper spray and batons. Over video chat, council members asked why police response escalated.
You use the pepper spray, then use the smoke, but why wouldn't the smoke be maybe a deterrent first before you use pepper spray?
It was a danger. It was a danger to those people.
The chief said officers advanced to try to keep a violin vigil separated from agitators. Some say that backfired because of lack of communication. Today, a Florida truck driver will be in court for a murder that happened in Denver nearly 40 years ago. He sexually assaulted and killed a 21-year-old woman in 1980, and he pleaded guilty back in February. Here's some old video from around the time it was investigated. Today, he'll be sentenced. Police say they used Ancestry.com to trace the murder back to Clanton. After eliminating several relatives, investigators went to Florida for DNA and tested a beer mug he was seen using at a bar. Most of us have to deal with I-25 Gap construction often, and it feels like it's never ending. But guess what? Work is more than halfway complete.
I hope that comes as good news to people because we still got a long way to go. But CDOT says that work on the north section of the Gap just south of Castle Rock is 81% finished up. The south section of the project that goes all the way into El Paso County is about 53% complete. 21. Feels like it's never ending though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wish it was further along. That would have been music to my ears. So right now, people who live east of Denver are allowed to return to their homes. Evacuation orders have been lifted for the fire burning in Byers. The fire burned 96 acres about 35 miles southeast of DIA. Crews have been watching it closely over concerns of it flaring back up. More than 100 people were evacuated yesterday. One of the most popular TV streaming services is about to cost a lot more. After the break, how much YouTube subscribers will now have to pay and why the company says the increase is necessary.
Also,
Tokyo Disneyland is back open today after being closed for 4 months because of coronavirus. This is some new video of the park's reopening. You can see people are standing in line 6 feet apart. The park can only reopen to 50% of normal capacity. Temperatures will be taken and all parades and shows are suspended. Disney parks in Shanghai and Hong Kong were also suspended for several months. This morning, Adidas is looking for a new global head of human resources. The former executive stepped down over reports of racial discrimination. Last month, a group of employees asked Adidas to investigate Karen Parkin. They told the company Parkin said racism was, quote, noise. That was only discussed in the U.S. In a written statement, Parkin said, "It has become clear to me that to unify the organization, it would be better for me to retire and pave the way for change."
It's the only service that includes a DVR with unlimited storage. It's still $15 more a month if you got that in the budget.
That's quite a bit more.
It is.
All right, Sydney, checking in about the day ahead. Current temperature is looking pretty nice.
Yeah, guys, it's not a
Colorado's set to get a lot of national attention in the race for one of our Senate seats.
Coming up, the major politicians that are endorsing both candidates.
Outside this morning, we got a really pretty view. Welcome back to 11 News this morning. We got quite the perspective for you. Banning Lewis Ranch here, Cam, and this shooting all the way to Pikes Peak. Nice clear view this morning.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to see that some mornings.
No, but I really do miss snow on Pikes Peak. I know it's been that way for a while, but it's still kind of feels weird.
Now's that window where if you're going to hike Pikes Peak.
This is developing this morning. A Colorado Springs City Council member wants to legalize recreational marijuana in city limits. Jill Gabler says it will help to repair the economy. She believes it could create more jobs and more revenue needed to recover from COVID losses.
The truth is that right now, Manitou Springs has two rec sale establishments, and probably 90% of the people who purchase there are Colorado Springs residents. So we are losing a lot of tax income.
But here's what Mayor John Suthers thinks. He says there are other solutions that will be better investments long term. He says lifting the ban would give up our city's attractiveness to the military for future expansion.
Space Command's huge. If we can win this competition to attract Space Command here over time, that's 7 million pales in comparison to what it could mean for our community. I would not want to jeopardize that.
The council needs 5 votes to get this on the November ballot for voters to decide.
And Colorado's already getting a lot of national attention now that our Senate race is set for November this morning.
Former Governor John Hickenlooper will run against current Senator Cory Gardner in November. 11 News reporter Kasha Courage is joining us live in the studio. Kasha, both have been endorsed by powerful political leaders. Alaska Airlines is tired of passengers who refuse to wear face masks. Flight attendants are now able to issue final notices to anyone who repeatedly refuses to cover their face on flights. They'll give notices in the form of a yellow card. Those who get them could be suspended from flying on Alaska Airlines. It's not clear for how long. Masks will be provided for any passenger who does not have one. Happening today, the testing site at the Pepsi Center is shortening its hours. It's because of a shortage in coronavirus testing kits. It'll now be from 8 in the morning until noon, and it will still be Monday through Friday. It'll be closed on holidays, so you cannot go on the 4th of July.
We have a lot to talk about when it comes to the election results. All the headlines, too, that you need to know about as you begin your day, including the new requirements for wearing masks locally. We'll tell you where you'll have to put one on.
And ahead, the deadline you need to know about if you want to be part of police reform in Colorado Springs. 11 News reporter Melissa Henry is live at Centennial Hall. Melissa, where exactly are these masks now required? And starting today, bars across the state are not allowed to open their doors to customers. Only 2 weeks ago, they were finally given the okay to reopen, but Governor Polis says he talked to the governors of Texas and Arizona, 2 states seeing surges in cases, and they told him they think the spikes there are because of private parties and people coming to bars. Bars that sell food can stay open with restrictions. Looking ahead, Colorado's Senate race will probably get national attention now that John Hickenlooper is running against Senator Cory Gardner.
Reporters, thank you.
And here's who will be on the November ballot to represent the 5th Congressional District. It covers a large area, including El Paso, Pueblo, and Teller counties. Republican Doug Lamborn will go against Democrat Jillian Freeland. They were the only 2 who ran in the primary election. Lamborn has held the seat since 2007. There are some other state and local races that voters did decide on last night. We have all those resources posted on our website, KKTV.com. Right now, 3 Aurora police officers are on leave, and they're under a federal investigation for inappropriate photos at a memorial for Elijah McClain, who died after an arrest by Aurora PD last year. Some of this video you're seeing is from this weekend when there were protests. The officers were allegedly reenacting the arrest in this photo in question, including a chokehold. The feds are also reviewing McClain's death to see if a civil rights investigation is warranted. Right now, a former officer officer is out on bail. A judge said Garrett Rolfe is not a danger to the community or a flight risk. He does have to wear an ankle monitor and surrender his passport. He's facing felony murder charges for the killing of Rayshard Brooks. Another officer involved in the arrest when this happened is already out on a signature bond. That officer has been charged with aggravated assault. President Trump is saying he will veto the defense spending bill if it requires renaming bases named after Confederate generals. This is the tweet he sent. In it, he attacked Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. In the bill, Warren proposed removing the names of Confederate leaders from all military assets within 3 years. Some GOP lawmakers do support that idea. We have some new video of protesters in Hong Kong being attacked with water cannons by police. Almost as soon as the new security law was passed by China, the police presence in Hong Kong began increasing. The law criminalizes basically the criticism of China. The AP reports police have arrested more than 180 people on different charges. The arrests come less than 24 hours after the law was imposed by China.
This is actually the second spacewalk, because you remember we told them about told you about this. What, the end of last week was when they did the last one.
Yeah.
I think it was Thursday or Friday, so they're getting busy up there.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's take a look at what's coming up on CBS this morning.
We did go through some primary election results pretty quick there. If you'd like to get the full rundown, KKTV.com, right at the top of the homepage this morning.
We'll be on top of that November election too. Hope you guys have a great day.